For over 60 plus years, mutant kind, we have been in the shadows because we were not accepted by humankind, which is also another acronym for the civil rights movement. But we'll get to that when we talk about the history. But ladies and gentlemen, in honor of 22 years, this movie has done so much for my mutant kind that all my brothers and sisters of mutant kind, we are here to let you guys know that we have taken over the Buttery Show. Me and the next generation. I am Reckless. I am Leo, aka Psycho Fox, and several other things. Daddy Fox for one of them. Here is little Cuppy Fox, and today we are here to review. Here comes whoa! Here comes a new challenger. I see the man who's trying to take my job. What you want? What you want, Big Mike?
I want everything, dog. Every not shot at Big Lots. I want it all.
Listen. There's only room for one black person.
Well, it's a good thing I'm mixed, bro. I'm like a cookie with more ingredients.
Wait, you're mixed too?
Oh hell yeah, bro.
Oh hell yeah, mixed brothers. We're mixed. We're happy and we're singling and we're mixed. Do.
Give me a high five. Yeah. Well, I feel like one of Peter Griffith's black sons, but I'm not a ninja.
Anyway, guys, welcome to the Buttery Show, and I am Leo. This is Big Mike Chocolate Thunder. And today,
how y'all doing? Jesus Christ! Here we go.
Welcome.
There's your Uncle Ryan. There's your Uncle Ryan, your Uncle Big Mike. Not Uncle Mike. This is Uncle Big Mike. All right.
Ryan, why do you sound like the host in Hostel? The one that hires all the torturers? That's what you sound like.
Because I am the host of this. No. Actually, it's actually Daddy Fox. He's hosting because he loves this movie to death. I swear.
No, I don't. I want to make that.
No, he has a Halle Berry fetish. That's what he told me.
Yes,
I do too.
Okay, yes, Halle Berry. Yes, Pretty Woman, Black Don't Crack. I have a lot to say about this movie, though. But in honor of another Marvel movie coming out earlier this month, which is Thor 4, Love and Thunder, and in honor of the 22nd anniversary of the movie that we're reviewing, we are looking at 2000 X-Men, starring Hugh Jackman, Sir Patrick Stewart, Halle Berry, Famke Janssen, James Marsden, a.k.a. Sonic's stepdaddy, Michael Myers from the remakes, and the woman who would later marry the fat kid from Stand By Me, Rebecca Romaine O'Connell. I'm joking. Jerry O'Connell, I love you. Please don't shoot me. Anyways, before we get started, how's everyone doing? Happy Monday.
Doing well. Also,
man.
Your audio, man. Put it down.
Huh?
Okay. Can you hear me now?
There you go. I can hear him now.
Oh.
Doing well. I'm doing well now.
Okay.
Yeah, Leo, man, I was tired, bro. Like, I had to choke out somebody to get my last Infinity Stone. You know how it is, man.
Well, according to Ryan, this is just part one of the multiverse that would later come, and I'm over here like, no.
This is a multiverse film now, okay? Anything's possible, dude.
Hey, calm down, bro. Don't even bring out Mjolnir, okay?
It's
swear to God. Whoa, bro. Don't be out here throwing the M word like that, Ryan.
Okay.
I'm very, very sensitive after what Gore did to everybody. Okay, calm down, Ryan.
Yo, spoilers. I'm actually seeing Thor 4 later this week. But hopefully everyone in the LA area is happy and healthy. Please make sure to keep your masks on.
Yes.
Keep your mask on. Keep your mask on, and keep your mask on. But
yeah, baby.
But if you are watching this from the year 2000 because somehow you managed to get future satellite television, 2000,
spoilers.
What up? Anyway, also spoilers because we're gonna be spoiling the heck out of this movie. So I just have to say one thing, guys. Why couldn't we get Ron Masterman to do the soundtrack for this movie? Don't get me wrong, I love the composer who did this movie, but all I really want was
hey, we're gonna have it, okay, with MCU version of it. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Okay. Oh, well, yeah. To be fair, we did get we did get the Spider-Man theme song when we had Tom Holland come. But anyways, going forward, let's talk about this movie. What movie were we talking about? For people are like, wait, what movie are you talking about? Okay, chill. We getting there. We're talking about 2000's X-Men, which is a 2000 American superhero film, just like this little guy right here, directed by Bryan Singer and written by David Hayter. No, not David Hayter from Metal Gear. From a story by Singer and Tom DeSantos. The film is based on the Marvel Comics superhero team of the same name and features an ensemble cast consisting of Sir Patrick Stewart, Hugh Jackman, Ian McKellen, Halle Berry, Famke Jensen, James Marsden, Bruce Davidson, Rebecca Romijn O'Connell, well at the time Stamos, Ray Park, Tyler May, and Anna Paquin. The film depicts a world where an unknown proportion of people are mutants, whose possession of superhuman powers make them distrusted by normal humans. It focuses on mutants Wolverine and Rogue as they are brought into the conflict between two rival groups that have radically different approaches to bringing about the acceptance of humankind. Xavier and the X-Men, and Magneto and the Brotherhood of Mutants.
That was beautiful.
Thank you. But no Beast, no Gambit, no Emma Frost, no Morph. And you were an X-Men Evolutions fan like I am. No Cannonball, no Dazzler, no Havoc, no Cameo from Captain America, no Colossus, no Avalanche, no Quicksilver, no Scarlet Witch, no Blob. I can go on and on, but again, this movie came out right before X-Men Evolution did, so I digress. So here's a question before we even talk about the cast. Well, let's talk about the cast real quick. Well, first of all, box office. This movie cost, let me take a look. This movie had cost $75 million. Can you guys guess how much it made in the box office worldwide?
About what, 200 or 300?
Close, and both close. $296.3 million, one of the highest grossing movies of 2000. And keep in mind, the 2000s was a very weird time for films because we were now in the new millennium, and I think the only two noticeable movies that I think everyone can say we all remembered were Remember the Titans and Gladiator. Yes, buddy. Yes, Gladiator and Remember the Titans are the two movies that we remember in the 2000s, and then this movie, okay? And also the Spider-Man's cameo. We'll talk about that later. But yes, this movie came out July, right after 4th of July weekend. And I said this before, and I said this in our review for Iron Man last week. If Blade revitalized the comic book movie genre, and yes, Blade, first Black Marvel character to get his own movie, and first Marvel movie to come out theatrically. This movie, despite its issues that we will talk about, pushed it towards the future. Without this movie and Blade, we wouldn't have Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, we wouldn't have Annie Lee's Hulk, Daredevil, Elektra, Punisher, Fantastic Four 2, Ghost Rider, and every other MCU movie that came out afterwards. There's a lot we should owe to X-Men, despite what we're going to be talking about with this movie. A lot is owed to this movie. Without that, we wouldn't have those movies, and we wouldn't have X-Men Evolution, which is, and hot take, X-Men Evolution is a better cartoon than the 90s X-Men movie show.
Ooh, that is
you're gonna have a lot of haters,
dude.
I love it too,
X-Men.
but better than the original.
I love 90s X-Men. This one's better storytelling wise.
It's part of the multiverse, dude. 97 Spider-Man.
Okay. I'm gonna need Ryan. I'm gonna need you to stop with this whole multiverse shenanigans. This is the 2000s. We did not know there was gonna be a multiverse. We didn't even know we were gonna actually have Captain America and Iron Man turn up later on in the decade. Ain't that right, buddy? Ain't that right, buddy? Okay.
Leo, you just traumatized me and the baby. We both got traumatized by you saying that.
Whatever. Anyways, let's get into it. So we have the ensemble cast. We have Patrick Stewart, who at the time was very known for being playing Picard in Star Trek: The Next Generation and some of the 90s Star Trek movies that came out afterwards. First Contact, Insurrection, and a few other movies. I'm not a big Trekkie fan, but I know a lot of y'all are. We also have Halle Berry, who, keep in mind, Halle Berry was doing she was acting in the 90s. I think two of her biggest movies that we all can remember was Baps and Boomerang with Eddie Murphy. Ooh, especially Boomerang with Eddie Murphy.
And this was 2 years for Swordfish, which solidified.
Oh, no, it was 1 year before Swordfish. Anyways. And then we had Famke Janssen. And anyone who does not remember Famke Janssen, all I have to say is this. GoldenEye. The movie that pushed kids through puberty.
If not that, then The Faculty.
If not that, then Ally McBeal with Calista Lockhart.
Yeah, but that was more for like grown-ups for our generation's time.
Yeah, sure. We wasn't watching that. And then you had James Marsden, who I didn't really know that too much about James Marsden. I just knew him from X-Men, and then later on, Sonic the Hedgehog.
How will I know you love?
Oh yeah, and Enchanted. I love Enchanted.
Jesus Christ.
God, I love that show.
Freaking nerds, bro. Y'all nerds.
Listen. Enchanted, I love me some Enchanted.
I love Enchanted, man.
That movie is turned. And listen, Amy Adams will never look as good as she did in that movie, and also Man of Steel. I digress. But then let's talk about and then we had Anna Paquin, who was also in True Blood.
Bay, she's my Bay in 2000s.
And she was everyone in that. Thank you. And in 2000.
Did you just take a food break mid sentence?
No.
He's like,
you can't be taking food breaks during mid sentence, bro. We live streaming.
Anyways,
which one?
That one.
The second one?
What was that?
Anyways, and then last and certainly not least, we have Hugh freaking Jackman, who everyone loves.
OG Chris Hemsworth of the time.
OG Chris Hemsworth. Yes. He was well known in soap operas back in the 90s. And this movie was his breakout role. Then Swordfish, X-Men 2, X-Men 3. That one movie
so on and so
Christian
forth.
Bale, Greatest Showman, Logan, Deadpool 2. And then one of the worst X-Men movies ever made, X-Men Origins Wolverine. But that's not his fault. That Huey, listen to me, dog. That movie's not your fault. It's not your fault. We do not blame you. We still love you, Huey. And then you also have Ian McKellen, who later on went to go do the Lord of the Rings movies and The Hobbit. Rebecca Romijn O'Connell and Tyler Mane, who went on to be Michael Myers in Halloween 1 and 2 remake. With that being said, guys, when was the first time you saw this? Did any of you guys see this in theaters when y'all was younger?
Boom.
Yes, I did. Oh,
okay.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I did because I was a huge fan of the 90s X-Men animated series.
Yeah, so the good one.
Yeah, the better one, Mr. Evolution. So when I got legit, I was a huge fan of the 90s animated series. So I first watched it. I saw the trailer. I was like, oh shoot, they're actually making an X-Men film. So I'll say it's actually the very first film I watched, superhero film I watched in theaters. Mm-hmm. It is. It is.
Bro. So for me, it was like this. So my dad was a severe chronic movie buff. Like my dad had VHSs everywhere. And then sort of like that, he passed that on to me. And like I watched all the cartoons back in the 90s. And my mom and dad bought me the original X-Men cartoon, the first 2 episodes when it was being sold by Pizza Hut, in the black in the black VHS casing. With one had silver on it, and the other one had gold on it. And I would rewatch the crap out of those first 2 episodes. So this is like 97. And then I got immersed into the Marvel culture, watching the Iron Man cartoon, Spider-Man cartoon. So when I saw the X-Men trailer, I was like, "Oh, we fitting to see this." And so, because I grew up in San Diego, so I remember I went to the Edwards Theater in San Marcos to go see this movie.
Okay. For me, I was 5 years old at the time when this movie came out. I didn't get the chance to see it in theaters. I really wanted to. I think it was around that time the Digimon movie had came out.
Oh, let's go! And then, no, Pokemon. Was it Pokemon? It was Pokemon.
Well, there's Pokemon 2000, and then there was the Digimon movie. They both came out in 2000. Shut up. And then this movie came out. Unfortunately, I did not see it in theaters, but I love my mama. My mama was a hardworking woman. Got me the bootleg of X-Men back in the day, where bootlegs weren't too bad on VHS, but you could tell it was kind of a bootleg. And then And then I managed to get it on VHS because my brother, who worked at I think either the Gap or Blockbuster at the time, was like, here's a better copy of the movie. So yeah, that's how I watched it. And keep in mind, like I said in when we reviewed Iron Man last week, I grew up watching the Spider-Man animated series and the X-Men animated series. I didn't really care that much about Iron Man or Captain America because of it. No, at the time, the cartoon-wise, because Avengers United We Stand was a trash cartoon. It was a lie.
Oh,
so it's like your opinion on X-Men's trash.
X-Men. Wait, hold on. Avengers United We Stand. Captain America, Thor, and Iron Man were not in that cartoon. They
actually made a cameo in the first episode.
Have y'all watched the show?
Yes, recently? I have, bro. Not recently, but with Tigress and Hawkeye, they were bodying that.
Watch it again. And you come back to me, and I'm telling you, you're going to have a different opinion about it.
It's not going to change my opinion. I'm an American, and I appreciate the Marvel that I got, okay? Bro, do you not understand how hard it was being... Like really think about it. You know how hard it was in the 80s and 90s to be an anime fan and a Marvel fan and a comic book fan? You're five. You're five, bro. I used to watch all the reruns. Bro, I remember all this, okay?
Listen, 06 to 09 middle school were the dark ages, and Ryan can vouch for me. If you even said that you were a Power Rangers fan or if you read comics, people would make fun of you. They would laugh at you.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
Obviously now today, everyone wants to be a comic book fan, everyone wants to be a video game fan, and everyone wants to be an anime fan. But back in the 80s, 90s,
I remember.
And the 2000s,
I lived it.
Okay, we all lived it in certain timelines. In certain timelines, we all lived it. This movie, okay, but going back to what I was saying, this movie, what I really enjoyed, what was really awesome about this movie, and it's gonna be one of the many things I say positive about this movie within the next coming time or whatever.
Yeah.
Around the time this movie came out, Activision had released the X-Men fighting game that was based on the movie, but they also had the cartoon costumes and the movie costumes. And that's what I really liked about the movie is that the video game, yes, it's janky as hell now, but back then when movie tie-in games were either going to be trash, mediocre, or pleasantly good, this was one of them that was mid, but pleasantly fun. Yes, buddy. This is back. Yes, movie. Yes, buddy. This is what happened back then. We had to use the video games in the movies. Anyway, go ahead.
There is a comment here. Like,
go ahead.
Oh, we have a whole bunch of comments.
I want to. Eric Williams says this film had so many 2000s. It is true. A lot of films in the 2000s were really like moody. Keep in mind, like pop rock or like not like hardcore rock, but like soul pop, like pop rock. Moody pop rock was like kind of popular back then. You had like the middle, so it's kind of funny. Like the Suits were legit more like a rock band instead of
no, because the problem was this: with Bryan Singer and them, they felt that the Jim Lee costumes from the cartoon and from the comics were too lame and too out there.
Yeah.
So he said he wanted a more adult, like realistic version of the suits, and those suits sucked. All right, let's give it 100.
Oh, yeah.
All the X-Men movie suits completely suck.
They are trash. They are
the Harvey Weinstein of superhuman fashion. That's what they are. Yeah, I said it. I don't care if I had to choose between the Jim Lee designs and doing drugs or this movie, I'm either gonna take the cartoon from the 90s or I'm ODing because I'll never ever say I like these suits because they are pure guttural trash. I would only use these suits as the start of fire during the post-apocalyptic war. That's it. I would never ever endorse these suits. Except Magneto. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying, bro. Complete trash, bro. The only good suit was Magneto's. That's it. Magneto was like low-key, what was sort of fire. Was a little bit, but that's it. Everybody else's was trash.
You mean the only suit that was actually, besides Magneto, that was actually accurate was Professor Xavier.
Anybody could dress like Xavier. It's just a suit.
I know, that's why.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why I hated. That's the only thing I hated about this Xavier in all the movies until Multiverse of Madness is he never had his chair from the cartoon.
I have a lot to say about Multiverse Madness, Xavier, but we'll talk about that another time.
Yeah.
I also want to agree with you that funny enough, I remember my aunt, rest in peace, she would always get the TV guides. Because back then, people, when you want to know what was on television, you had to either look at the newspaper, the TV, or you subscribe to TV Guide. TV Guide, they had a special where a random TV Guide would have a character of the X-Men. My aunt so happened to have Wolverine. Wolverine in the TV Guide, all their costumes were of different like shades in which the lining of their suits, like Storm's lining of the suit, like just the lines of them were white.
Yeah.
Wolverine's was orange, Rose was green, and she was never in her suit.
Yeah. Trash. Yeah, I know.
I also want to you also need to keep in mind the movie that came out the year before was The Matrix. Everyone wanted to wear black.
Oh, okay. So since we're talking about this film, it came out from Kevin Feige, who was a producer on this. The Bryan Singer told the entire cast not to watch the cartoon and not to read the comics, and they did not want to give Hugh Jackman his hair from the comics. And Kevin Feige had a fight to make the studio give Hugh Jackman his Wolverine haircut.
They even gave him the yellow and blue suit.
Listen, I've already have a really huge opinion. I already have issues with Bryan Singer as a whole. I'm not going to talk about them on here personally.
Yeah, no. We're talking about just the movie. Yeah, facts about the movie.
But no,
So
also, Beast was supposed to be. Beast and Ganon were supposed to be in this movie, but they got cut out.
Yeah,
which pissed me off because I'm like, listen. As much as I love Wolverine, I love Beast. Beast is a very smart character, but I know a lot of people gravitate to him.
But it makes a lot of sense because you can only juggle so many characters in the very first movie, and you got to ease the audience into it because, like you said, like this is where a bunch of normies got converted from normies to Marvel fans. So like it would have been too much. You would have had Ray Park as Toad. You would have had the Silent Giant as Sabretooth. You know what I'm saying?
You mean Darth Maul and Michael Myers were in this movie? I
exactly
forgot because
you know what I'm saying?
They didn't have a lot of dialogue.
I know, but if you had those two plus a blue furry dude, come on, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I can understand, yeah.
Because this is the generation that idolized the OC. You think they would have been rocking X-Men if they had Beast in the first one?
Bump that. This is the generation that idolized 90210, the
exactly.
OG Beverly Hills 90210, and Dawson's Creek, and My So-Called Life.
You could say that this was like a catfish for normies. They're like, this is like a cool, entertaining film. It's like, gotcha. Now you're one of us. Welcome to Comic-Con. You know what I mean?
Welcome to Comic-Con, suckers.
Exactly. I didn't want to add anything after that, but yeah.
You know what's funny about this film is like this is legit the first film we legit saw an actual superhero team that was really unique. Because like I'll say this too, like this film kind of made Marvel again popular, and also made people watch X-Men anime series again.
Yes,
and they actually did influence X-Men Evolution, which I believe it's a good series. But I'm sorry, Fox, X-Men anime series 90s still the best. I'm sorry.
Mine.
Shut up.
Also, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm gonna say this again. If we're talking about storytelling and which one's better written, X-Men Evolution dealt with a lot of issues that were going on, especially if you were a kid who loved the 90s X-Men, becoming a teenager, watching X-Men Evolution. That show touched on so many things that a lot of people were going through. Again, we're divergent. I digress. Going back into it, what I will say is this movie was also a breakout performance for Hugh Jackman. Because keep in mind, Hugh Jackman at the time was not known for movies. He was known for doing soap operas in Australia. This was his first breakout performance in America. And funny enough, here's another fun fact. Remember the opening scene where we are introduced to Wolverine?
Oh, yeah.
That was actually a reshoot. That was the last thing they filmed. Yep, that was the last thing they filmed. Because if you look at his physique in that scene and then look at his physique when he has no shirt on later in the film, he is much more buffed in that cage fight scene than he is throughout the rest of the movie.
Yeah, you notice too, like he was fit, but he wasn't like buff.
Yeah, this was before we have Daddy Jackman.
He was Tom Holland body. How about that?
Yeah, this was before Daddy Jackman for sure.
So anyway, what I was gonna say next, but yeah, I'll say this: the performances of I like what I liked about this film is they did keep the premise of the comics, mutant kind. Like
Yes.
I like how they establish like, oh, there is racism and there is like prejudice in this world, because superhero movies, like, I also like the fact that this superhero movie is like, it's not like, oh, we have to fight the bad guy and save the world. No, this one basically is just Magneto wants to like show the world like, hey, like mutants are here, but do it in a more extreme way. It's like Malcolm X. And I like the fact that Ian McKellen, like, people say like, oh, Ian McKellen didn't really study the comics or the show. I have a feeling he did, because like his Magneto, I'm looking at it, it's so similar to the 90s show.
Well, I mean, you can say it like that, but it's like also, it's like, because in real life he's gay, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, bro, that's what X-Men is based on. It's like being part of a marginalized group. So he didn't have to watch the show or movie. He lived that stuff in real life.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because he couldn't be openly gay his whole life, especially back in the day. He would have got killed like everybody else. So for somebody who had to go through their life being gay and having to hide it, or for a period until he was able to be openly gay, you know what I'm saying? He felt that. So that's why this role was like fit like a glove for him.
Same thing. It was like, you think Xavier, like Patrick Stewart, like legit, like honestly, like the best casting in my opinion is the industry. Jackman, Xavier, and of course McKellen. I mean, look what happened. Like they're legit in almost every X-Men film.
And they're best of friends in real life.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of
that is like the best thing.
If you watch that Norton Graham interview when they did for Logan, and Ian McKellen's like, could you not make another one? Leave him at home. It's time you died. And as I recall, I'm like, yo, Ian McKellen just spoiled Logan in the funniest way possible. I'm like, it's time you died. And I was
look, that again, Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah. Now the thing is, again, with this being like the prototype movie, like one of the first two prototype superhero films, I really feel like what they did with the Brotherhood of Evil was good, but I know it's limited by the era it came from, and I know you're talking about the Blob and everything, and I think that was another good decision not to have them in the first one.
Yeah,
because if you guys remember, between those 3 years, between 2000 and 2003, like when X2 came out, it was a whole different ball game, and that's why X2 was better than this film, because like the studio embraced X-Men for what it was, and the graphics advanced that much more. So it's like, can you imagine 2000 graphics and prosthetics for the Blob if he was in this film?
And the CG would have been terrible.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll say this too. Like, now the CG for this film, honestly, it doesn't age. I watched it again earlier. In my opinion, it didn't really age well. It did not age well. Like the fact, remember when Senator Kelly turned into like a naked slob? I'm like, yeah, that's not good.
Actually, I don't mind that scene, but I get what you mean.
And also, like, remember, like Magneto, like used Rogue to uses like mutant machine. It's like, okay, that's again 2000 tropes, right? You need to have something like a laser beam, like or an aura or a force shield engulfing everything. Independence Day. Yeah. Anyway,
if the thing for me that it didn't really click until I got older is that we would never get the Rogue from the TV show, which a lot of fans were expecting to have in this franchise going in, but people didn't understand the situation with the rights of the characters with Marvel and all the studios. So I mean, so like now knowing that, I understand why Rogue was as helpless as she was in this film, because if this was Rogue after she stole Captain Marvel's abilities, she would have mollywopped the entire Brotherhood by herself.
And another thing too is like yeah, you're right. Well, I mean, you never know; they could do it now.
Oh yeah, well now, because like we're gonna get the proper Rogue. Period. We're gonna get the real. We're gonna get everybody in the new MCU film. So that's different. But I'm talking about in 2000. It makes a lot of sense. Like the version that we got is that she was still endearing. You still felt her character's pain and struggle because she physically can't touch anybody and whatnot. But as a kid, it's sort of like, you had higher expectations of the film because 3 years prior, you saw her like socking out the Juggernaut on Fox Kids, and not be able to see her do that in the films I never understood that. I'm like, why isn't she like in the comics? But then understanding the times and then the situation with the rights now it makes me more appreciative of what they could have did and what they were able to do with this film in that capacity.
I'll say this too. Like, even though they said like a lot of people think, oh, Rogue is the weakest character. No, she's not. Like, she's like no, she's not. Like, you touch, you're dead. Like,
Period.
She's walking dead. That's why I like that. Like, people like say like she's weak. No. Honestly, in my opinion, she's the strongest mutant over there. There's a reason. Like, she touches, you're dead.
Yeah.
That's period. Like, she almost killed like Wolverine by just touching him. Wolverine got stabbed.
Yeah, I had an issue with Rogue's character and stuff too. But I think when I look back in retrospect, that seemed like kind of like helpless, like Southern Belle type of thing. They kind of did the same thing, but with give me a second, but with X-Men Evolution, because they did the same thing, but then she came into her own without needing the help of like Captain Marvel's abilities and stuff.
Yeah.
But I get why they did it. I'm not a fan of it, but I understand that the studio was limited.
No, Anna Paquin did a really good job with Rogue. I actually like. I like the fact that she legit was the main character in this film.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is this: is that there was a movie that she did when I was a kid that it was like one of the first dramas that I ever saw, and it makes me understand why they picked her was The Piano.
Oh yeah.
So she was a little girl in that, and like it's like the family moves. It's like I think it was like Hawaii or Samoa. It was like a Polynesian, and like the mom falls in love with the one of the Polynesian men, and but then the mom loses her fingers because the mom's like a professional piano player, and Anna was got nominated for an Oscar for that movie as a little kid. So she came in already as a vetted heavy hitter and brought that to Rogue, and I know some people might try to say she was this movie's Jubilee, and she was in that capacity.
Yeah.
Which is why they oh yeah, it's Winged Wolf right there. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I agree with you. Actually, no, she is the Jubilee in this films.
Yeah, but the problem with Fox is that later on they had no good writers who didn't know how to bring in the actual Jubilee in a greater capacity, because they messed it up twice in X2 and in Apocalypse. So it's just like they sort of like did the money shot too early for this one. With bringing Rogue as the Jubilee character only, instead of like pushing her further, because this was like the best her character was in the whole franchise, in my opinion.
Yeah. Another thing too. Let's talk about, of course, you guys love is Halle Berry. Storm. Well, I'll say this: her performance of Storm wasn't that bad, but rewatching it, I'm like, it was not also memorable. I mean, granted, you have a lot of characters.
There's a reason why her African accent dropped after this movie.
I know she drops it.
It's like it's the reverse of Wanda from the Avengers movies.
No, for Wanda, she was
gradually
got Americanized.
Yes, this one like, I don't believe you, John. I don't believe you African. I don't believe you were the wife of T'Challa.
Nope.
But again, because we were limited on how much we can do with the license to X-Men Fox had at the time, I get why they did it the way they did it. I would say this. I honestly like Famke Janssen's Jean Grey.
She was a good Jean Grey.
I think she was a really good Jean Grey, despite decisions made in X-Men 2 and 3. We're not going to focus on. We're focused on this. I think she did pretty good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not the biggest fan of Jean Grey, the character in the comic books. I was more of a Phoenix fan. But for what they showed us and what they were foretelling about how although her and Xavier had the exact same powers, he's up here and she's like right here. And you saw how she kind of rose when she used Cerebro.
Also, another thing too is we need to talk about Mystique. Now, let me ask you guys this: like, it's actually also a big like risk, especially 2000s, and it's a superhero movie. Mystique being a nudist.
Yeah, it never made sense to me, because it's like, well, as a kid, because the thing is this: in the TV show, she always had that white cloth outfit. And it shifted with her.
Yup.
Mhm.
And,
You know what I'm
and
saying?
she was carrying a blaster. She was ready to pop. She was ready to
Yeah.
pop some. You know,
Because I'm like, so her scales can become like cloth like, and it's like I get it that she has to be completely naked for that, but I'm like, can't that be like a transitional form? Why
No,
does
it
she have
does
to be?
make sense too. Like, remember, like X-Men First Class, like she was wearing clothes when she transformed.
okay. We're not talking about X-Men First Class. We're only looking at this movie because
Yeah.
I could clear. We can go off the. If I were just to look at this movie as a whole, I'm like, yes, this movie's all right. But if you look down the laundry list of the broken timeline we had for this movie, we'll be here all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like her being a nudist. I didn't get it too. It's like I get it, but like, why does she be a?
You know why? One of the executives fancied her, and then he's just like, if I can't get with her, I'll make this creative decision to make her nudist and make it better. It's part of her character, her mutant abilities, and they just made her eye candy just to be eye candy. It had no creative, backbone to it at all. I mean, I get it. She can shapeshift, but in every shapeshifting other property we've ever seen ever, shapeshifters never have to be completely naked.
Nope. Absolutely
Because if that's the case, you need to carry around like a garbage bag of clothes with you. You know what I'm saying? And because that's what makes no sense. I'm like, why can't her clothes shift with her? If her body just changes to that of a dude and he's completely naked, then that's not good either. But I'm like, why does she have to be naked to make clothes and not be clothed the whole time?
Because it's the 2000s, we're supposed to be edgier.
You see,
Yeah,
edgy. Yeah, I
man.
noticed that too. Like going back to the tropes with you, like this had so many like edgy tropes. Like we were watching it now. I'm like, honestly, I'll say this again. I was kind of bored watching this film again. I'm so like we're so used to Marvel movies now, like superhero movies, like like they're all fun to watch. This one, I'm like, this is kind of boring to watch. And like, keep in mind, like I like the story, I like what they did, but I'm like rewatching. I'm like, it felt like watching a chore. Well, it felt like a chore to me.
See, I'm the opposite. I wasn't bored. I just found it a lot of things to be a little too generic, especially for the times. Again, because this movie suffers because of the times. Just like I'll say this, I know it wasn't there. I love the first Spider-Man movie. Man, Papa Roach was in that scene during the parade. I'm over here like, bro, this is such a 2000 movie. You got Papa Roach, you got Homegirl from Training Day singing. I can't remember her freaking name.
Chelsea Gray.
Chelsea Gray.
No, Macy Gray.
Yeah, you got Macy Gray, and you got Papa
Macy
Roach
Gray
on that album. I'm like, bro, this is a 2000s. This is such a 2000 movie. I can smell the foam shoe cleaner from Foot Locker.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked that X-Men weren't responsible like Quicksilver and Hot Fire and all. And I was just like,
yo, they missed something spectacular. Can you imagine the shoe tie-in for this movie? The Jordan Quicksilvers, the Jordan Firestars, the Adidas Scarlets, bro,
or the Nike. I don't know.
The Nike Tooths, the Saber Tooths.
It's about Saber Tooth.
No. The Air Phoenixes.
Let's talk about Saber Tooth. Okay, I'll say this.
Wait, Saber Tooth's in the movie?
Yes, in the movie.
See, I forgot. He didn't say
same
thing.
Exactly.
I'll say this. I did not like how they use Saber Tooth. I'll say this. The mutants, the X-Men themselves, they were casted right. Or they did okay. Like I like, they did their parts. The Brotherhood of Mutants, besides Magneto and Mystique, in my opinion, they were not used well. Like Sabretooth was so wasted. Like I mean, granted, they did explore his origins in X-Men Origins Wolverine the proper way.
Shut up. No.
Ryan, don't go there, bro.
Not going down that rabbit hole.
But you know what? But you know what happened. But at least
you're crossing a racial line. You're crossing a racial line with the mutants, bro.
I'm like, anyway, but like Sabretooth in general, I'm like, dude, like you guys look at the comics, even the 90s show, this guy is so fleshed out and developed. Like he legit made one of the most iconic X-Men villains and like Wolverine's like arch nemesis into a side minion.
Do you know where they got that from, right?
Nah.
What?
Batman Forever with George Clooney.
Oh god.
No, you mean Batman and Robin. You mean Batman and Robin.
That you know what? They're so bad. They all the same to me.
We're not gonna talk ill will about Val Kilmer's Batman because Val.
He had bat nipples. I'm gonna say what I want about bat nipples.
Okay. Going back to Sabretooth, like honestly, this is my opinion. I mean, Toad, him and Rachel, like, dude, like you could have done so much for Sabretooth. Like, yeah, granted, too many characters, but they didn't even bring him back for the next X-Men movies. This was kind of sad. I'm like, you could have done so much as a character.
Well, that's the problem.
Do we count X-Men X2 Wolverine's Revenge since it is a tie between 1 and 2?
No, because
Spider-Man makes a cameo.
Because the thing is this with this is that you know whoever was making the creative decisions, they weren't really thinking about the long game in the first movie too much. They're just trying to make something that was just good enough to like make their money back and feel out and test out the waters. So, damn it, be whoever is the most beloved character in the comic. We got to make what we got to make this money and see how people feel, and then we'll try to consider everybody's feelings after we make back our budget. And that was the mindset for this first movie.
I can second that. Look what the hell they did to Lady Deathstrike in X2.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
God, no, stop.
No. We can't. Leo. Okay.
Stop.
We only have so much time on this live stream, dog. Let's.
Here's another thing too. They butchered Cyclops. I'm sorry. They butchered Cyclops.
James Marsden, no offense to you. You did well for what the script that you were given. We like you. We love you. We'll see in Sonic 1 and 2 in the 2020s. Continue.
Yeah, again, you guys remember in the comics, Cyclops is one of the most beloved. Well, he's a jerk, but he is a leader, right? He's the John Cena of X-Men.
The John
Cena of X-Men.
Well, I mean, he was like that in this movie, but not on that level.
Yeah, not on the level because I grew up with the 90s X-Men. In the animated show, he was legit badass. So me watching it live action, as a kid, I'm like, what the hell? Why won't you lead or do something? Instead, he gets pummeled. Basically, he gets thrown like a rag dog in all these 3 films.
He gets seismic tossed by Toad. A seedless mutant villain.
But you got guys. You gotta remember, we're talking about this now objectively as adults who are versed and seasoned.
Yeah.
As kids, that shit was fire.
Yes.
But even though
I know, I understand. I know we're doing a retro review now, but we gotta talk about context. For those who weren't even alive back then watching this, just to be given this was a gift from the gods. You know what I'm saying?
It was a perfect treat.
Yes, but the problem is that the thing with Blade and thing with this is that the people behind the scenes, they weren't all of them weren't avid fans, and Kevin Feige could only do so much back then on this first movie, which he worked on. So it's what we got is they did the best they could, but the people running it didn't have the best understanding themselves of the property. They knew just enough on how to shoehorn in the characters into a script, and the script and the creative direction was never the best. But it's fun. It's crazy. It's they had great actors with okay script and okay direction, and that's the gumbo that we have as the first X-Men film.
This was a movie that I said this in the start of our review. Although this movie does have issues that we're obviously talking about in retrospect, this led to bigger things. This was a good starting point for potential future movies that would come out that we knew nothing about in 2000. We didn't know that we were going to get 2 more sequels and then a reboot series.
2 more sequels,
and then
multiple sequels,
and then a movie that would try to connect both. I'm going into the future, but you get what I mean. This movie was the stepping stone of what we would see later, because 2 years later, Spider-Man came out. Well, the movie came out in 2000. Spider-Man came out in 2003. No, in 2003, Hulk, Daredevil, and X2 had came out. 2004, Punisher came out. 05, Fantastic Four, and Elektra, and 04, and 04, Punisher and Spider-Man 2. 05, Fantastic Four and Elektra. 06, X-Men The Last Stand. and X-Men: The Last Stand.
And then,
but another thing about this film, bro, 'cause I get what you guys are saying. I just really feel like, so it's like they nerfed and neutered Sabretooth. They made Toad like this hammy, like, hey, I'm the funny guy, but I'll beat your ass, like that type of like verbose character. I think Magneto was like the only like really solid. Like they made him like in the comics, it's like in the movies they basically had the same tone, and that's like that's what carried the villain side of this film, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because
it matched with Patrick Stewart's Xavier when they shared scenery.
Yeah,
together.
like legit. I did say the film is a little boring to watch a little bit now, but like the scenes where Xavier and like Stewart, just them talking, I would
masterclass.
I will just listen to them talking. It's so
good. Now to go back to Sabretooth, you gotta like he did when he came in, he got the job done and got out because like he yeeted Wolverine when they first met. Tossed him like he was nothing.
He beat his ass, bro.
And then he started choking out Halle Berry. Oh my bad. Anna Paquin. Well, I forgot.
Halle Berry. He choked out Halle Berry.
Yeah, he choked out Halle Berry.
I have a joke for that, but obviously we have children who watch this, so I'm not going to say it.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so let's go talk about comments now because it's almost sorry. So,
oh yeah. Let's get the comments.
Real quick, go ahead. I'll say one more thing. What? I did enjoy Jackman and Paquin's chemistry on the set.
Yes.
Like it. With that, it's Hugh Jackman's Wolverine is honestly what paved the way for Scott McNeil's Wolverine and X-Men Evolution, where he is a mentor to a lot of these kids. And despite, my hot take, I hate the love triangle between Cyclops, Wolverine, and Jean Grey. Even in the comic books, I hate it. It's the reason why I like when you have Wolverine who's older and is mentoring them. I like that. I prefer that. It does. I'm like, we need more stepdad Wolverines. That's all I have to say.
Okay. Robert Klein. We talk Tojink. Oh yeah.
You have the ability of you have the telekinesis. How the hell do you not rip that, bro? Yeah. And that's what we're talking about, the creative direction and writing of that time.
Yes.
And this is the same dude who directed Usual Suspects, which is one of my favorite detective movies of all time.
Gosh.
Yeah, because
As a geek.
About
wow.
X.
Yeah. It's the truth. Look at Xavier. He got dumped by Magneto on a bullet. Hey, that's all I'm saying, man. You seen First Class?
It's a better movie, the best X-Men movie, bar none. But I digress.
Oh, you mean a coin?
No. Yeah.
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah. Jack was amazing. Yes.
Jack's man. Yes, he was.
Oh.
Yeah, I'd say he was a good casting.
Speaking of Hugh Jackman, I will say this. My biggest problem with the movie, which is then a precursor to my issues with the later movies, Wolverine is the main character. They should have just called it Wolverine and the X-Men. I get it. I get in the 2000s. I get that Wolverine is a very popular character in the X-Men series. The comics, everything.
But not in the cultural zeitgeist.
Exactly. This should have just been called X-Men, this should just be called Wolverine the X-Men the entire time. That's all I have to say.
This film?
Yeah, this movie, X2, X3, every single X-Men movie should just be called Wolverine the X-Men 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Like you gotta remember, like he wasn't the main character in this film. It was the Rogue.
Well, but they were both the main focus of the story.
I know, but like it was more like
on side characters.
No, but the thing is, Rogue. Because the thing is, when I watched the film, it felt like Rogue was more like, was carried the film because
Rogue and Wolverine were the MacGuffins of the film.
MacGuffins, yeah, and then like X2, I felt like I think Chris X2, I felt like Xavier was the main character. I kind of did. Because like,
Okay.
no, actually no, Iceman. I felt Iceman. Yeah.
Really?
Hey.
Iceman was the main character.
I felt like it. Okay.
That's a no.
Like every X-Men film has the central.
That's
It was like
nothing
only
about-
X3. Like oh god, last 10. That's why I felt.
We don't talk about X3 no more. No.
We have to, dude.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
This is about X1 conversation. Next comment before I pull out the hammer.
Thank you.
Oh, God, you can't. It is true. I mean, the original anime series it was Jubilee and Wolverine. So
Yeah, but that's more of a '90s construct.
hey, it's me. Prove it. You're a
dick.
It's like, it's me. Prove it.
Prove it.
You're a dick.
You're a dick.
Okay, I love it.
That was the most comic accurate moment of that whole movie.
Exactly. You know, like I wish like Jackman like had more scenes like just talking as Wolverine. I mean,
with Marsden, yeah,
because Marsden was like, damn, like I'll say this, Marsden was a good casting as Cyclops. Just they did him dirty.
Yeah, bad writing in 2 and 3 for him.
Because like you look at the casting, this is legit perfect casting for each character.
All right, what's the next question?
That's pretty much it.
Okay.
All right.
Here's a question. Favorite moment of before we get into grades. Favorite moment in the movie. What was your favorite scene?
Liberty Island when they're all helping. Remember the scene where they're helping? I know it's kind of cringy and kind of corny now, but how they're helping like Wolverine go up to save Rogue.
Mm-hmm.
I like that scene.
Okay. I like that scene too.
Yeah, bro. And then like I'm not gonna lie, when Storm yeeted Toad, that was dope. But the problem was, and I found out later, because now we're adults, that there was a deleted scene where they had a prior interaction, and in that weird ass line she says to him in the movie was her response to a previous scene that we never saw.
Now I remember like the fact like Toad's like, "Why don't you ever die?"
Yeah. And then what was it, Senator Kelly, right? The one that got victimized
into goo.
Yeah. So that was crazy. After that he did another movie called Flubber. No, I'm kidding.
No, my favorite scene outside, because we'll all say Liberty Island. My favorite scene outside of that was when they went to go find Rogue, like after they used Cerebro, and Cyclops is like, "Where's my motorcycle?" And all you hear is Atom Bomb playing. That is so 2000s, but I loved it. I like that.
Yeah. Okay. If we have to talk about prior to Liberty Island, because like the last act of X-Men is everybody's favorite part of the film. I would say Wolverine's introduction in the bar in the cage fight.
Same here.
Bro, it's like he beat some dude's ass, and then he was gonna stab the other two dudes. Like the way he had perfect precision to not stab the dude with the middle claw, but he let him know he's like, I could kill you if I wanted to, and then he just retracts him.
Perfect timing. Another scene too, like was again the conversation in the beginning. Charles and Professor X talking.
You mean Charles and Magneto?
Sorry, Charles, Professor X and Magneto talking. Actually, no. The chess scene. Remember when Magneto gets captured? I like that scene a lot.
Yeah.
Magneto's backstory.
Oh, yes.
I love that.
I love that a lot.
I love it, and I also love how Matthew Vaughn, a better director than Bryan Singer, was able to recreate that scene for First Class and expanded on it. Yeah,
expanded it.
Yeah, because it's like, that's what led up to Michael Fassbender having the perfect introduction in the First Class when he started murdering all the Nazis in the bar.
Man, that was
I felt that.
God, I love First Class, and because they treated a lot of Magneto scenes before he met Xavier as like it was like a 007 movie. It's like 007 with magnetic
and
powers.
McAvoy as Professor X. It's like chills, like, "What's up, man?"
Yeah, but all that came because of how they set up this movie with Magneto's backstory, with him being Jewish in the concentration camps.
Okay, real quick, in the movie, they say that Xavier met Magneto when he was 17 years old. Pause. First Class. Xavier's in his 20s, drinking in London, and then meets Magneto after saving him from drowning. Do you see a conundrum right there?
Now here's the thing about This is another reason why a lot of people kind of gave up an X-Men film series. It's like the continuity errors.
Bro,
Same thing.
I gave up to Days of Future Past, and I tried watching.
There's
the
a
road
simple
cut.
explanation,
Really
Fox.
No, I'm
The
gonna tell you.
multiverse.
Go.
It's a variant. They're variants, dude. Like Logan is a variant of another universe. So watch.
Okay.
Want to prove it?
In the words of Logan and for X-Men First Class, go frag yourself.
It's a multiverse, bro. So McAvoy and Stewart's once.
Big Mike, I'm gonna need you to hit with that. I'm gonna need you to hit with Mew Mew when you get the chance.
What you want to do, Ryan? I'm ready.
Anyways, real quick, scores, guys.
1 to 10.
Yeah, 1 to 10. I will give this movie for its. I mean, listen, it was a movie of its time. We've already talked about the 2000. Yeah, go ahead. We talked about the 2000 tropes. We've talked about a lot of the concepts. We talked about the issues that happened with it. Obviously, the whole nudist thing with Mystique, which I know a lot of us had an issue with, whether we were kids or not. Overall, I like that it stuck to pretty much the premise of X-Men and what Stan Lee and Jack Kirby made with the X-Men comic books. I enjoyed the cast that they had, despite some of them not getting enough screen time. I think Hugh Jackman was obviously the breakout star of this movie. And no disrespect to the other actors and actresses who put a lot of time and effort into their roles. Hugh Jackman was the breakout star. Let's just keep it a buck 100, because Patrick Stewart, he will forever have Star Trek money. He's set for his great grandkids is set. I did enjoy some of the fights. Like, I enjoyed the fight with Sabretooth and Wolverine. Don't get me wrong, the special effect when he did the Statue of Liberty thing was bleh. And I like the continuation they had at the end, where Wolverine was then learned about Weapon X and had to go back to Canada. He had to go back to his home country to figure out why he lost his memories. Even though we all know why, X-Men Origins. I give this movie, for its time and from what I watched, because I had a genuinely good time with my fiance watching this movie, explaining certain things. I would give it a 6 out of 10. However, Spider-Man did make a cameo, so I gotta give it a 7.
Cameo?
Okay, so if you guys go on YouTube, just type in X-Men Spider-Man cameo. During the scene where they're about to fight Toad when they run into the room, there's a guy in the Spider-Man.
The deleted scene.
And he's I am sorry, I'm on the wrong set. My bad. And the entire cast laughed, and James Marsden went after him, jokingly. For that, because it led into what was going to happen 2 years later, this movie gets a low 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I'll give it a 7.
Same here. I give it a low 7. And also to counter your powers, Chocolate. Does your powers have courage, wisdom, and heart? The power of gold. The power of gold. The power of gold.
Yeah, I actually got my power staff right here. I'm not gonna get up and grab it though.
What are you talking about? This is my special power.
Listen, I got Tim's. Tim's the ultimate power in the universe.
So, guys, you guys want a necklace from Special Gold Ranger? Go to enterprise-triplets.com. You buy your own Gold Ranger. I guess you're doing promotion.
All right, guys. Gold Rush. Thank you guys for having me on today. It was a good podcast.
It's good to be on the show with you too.
Yeah, it's your first time to get. I'll be honest, guys. For a long time, I want to see how these two work together. And actually, now I know. I've probably seen it. Dream come true.
Ryan's like, I'm gonna watch these two black guys interact with each other.
I know.
Let's see how this goes. Hey, Ryan was like worried. He's like, I thought it'd be like BET Uncut. I don't know what's gonna.
BET.
Yeah.
Well, the open one for you.
Ryan's like, I feel safe. It's like the Black Eyed Peas, but with 2 Apple D apps.
Oh my god.
We just need a Fergie.
All right, so Mike, where can I find you on social media?
All right, I'm on Instagram at Kingdom Kid 90. Everything else, and then also Citizen Cinema, and that'll be it.
Hey, and Fox, where can I find you?
Y'all can find me taking care of my son, but y'all can also find me on Twitter or Instagram at @the_Fox. You can follow my YouTube page, Reckless Fox. I will be posting content soon, and you can follow me on Twitch.tv/RecklessFox. Just beat Spider-Man Miles Morales, a great game. I'm currently on Doom, And be sure, here's a hot plug. Be sure to follow me and my fiance on Nerdy Fitness with 3 S's. We're doing nerdy workouts and how to stay clean and stay cut or bulking for your body pleasure. Ryan, where can they find you?
You can find me in the shadows, hiding. You can find me at you can find me on Instagram, DancerBoy247. And guys, you like the Morphin Network? Well, you like Power Rangers? Please follow the Morphin Network on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
And for Ryan's bodily pleasure, you can find him at Chippendales this weekend in Vegas.
All these goals.
Shaking that ass.
Oh my god!
Exactly.
Right.
Right after throwing it back.
Oh my gosh! All right, guys. So again, thank you guys so much. Tomorrow will be a podcast. Vanilla Lightning and Crystal Butterfly will be talking about one of Mel Brooks's another iconic hit, Robin Hood, Men in Tights.
Ooh.
Yes.
Starring Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Yo, we need to do Blazing Saddles at one point, Big Mike.
Oh, we did Blazing Saddles.
Damn it. Okay, we need to do The Jerk with Steve Martin. I love that movie. Yes, we gotta do that. Or bringing down the house. We gotta do Bringing Down the House.
All right. Okay, guys. This is the Buttery Show, and we're signing.
Wrong show.
I know.
Wrong show. Peace.
Anyway, bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Peace.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Da-da.
Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da.